Welcome back to Writing Workshop. Bruins and Highlanders, we are so excited to see your series writing start to come to life. We see that you're starting to write so many good stories, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Today, we are going to learn that good writers need to have a can-do attitude. That means that writers do not give up. Do you remember in the classroom we had talked about being the boss of your reading? In the classroom, we talked about how sometimes when you're reading, you come across tricky words. And a good reader needs to stop, take control of the reading, and try many different strategies to get through the tricky words. Today, we are going to learn that writers have to do the same thing. Let's stop and think for a moment about our book, Iris and Walter. Do we think that the writer of this book completed this book in one day, even a week? No, right? They probably took a month making sure that all of their words sounded correctly and that their book looked beautiful. So, writers, that is going to be the same process you're going to do. It's okay if we don't finish our books in one day or even a week because we want to do our best work. But it could get hard writing every day, and some days you might get stuck. And that's okay. Every writer goes through that. But I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that you can do so that you can continue to push when you feel like you don't know what to write or when you're stuck, so you continue writing and we get to see those beautiful stories that you come up with. So let's get started. To develop a can-do attitude, you have to do a couple of things. The first thing you have to do is that you have to give little orders to yourself. Since you're the boss, you have to give orders to yourself. You have to say things like, first I have to, next I should. So you have to stop and think, what are my goals? What is my writing missing and what should I be doing next? And then you give yourself little orders. You also keep writing. Once you give yourself some orders, you have to go back to your writing and keep writing. After you're done writing, you're going to act it out. And you're going to act it out so that you know if your writing has included everything that was in your mind. Sometimes we create stories and they stay in our mind and we don't put them on paper. So let me pretend like I am a first grader and I'm going to be writing at home. And then I'm going to get stuck and I need to try to do one of these things in order to push through and continue writing. So here I go. One day, Lisa and her dog Sky were playing. They were in the living room when their dad came in and said, I don't know what else to write. It's too hot. I'm bored. Is that what should I be doing? No. Am I going to ask the teacher? Am I going to ask my dog? Am I going to ask my mom? No, I need to push through and I need to give myself little orders. So I need to look at what I need to do first to continue writing. So I said that they were in the living room and the dad came in and said, first, I have to say what the dad said. So let me give myself a little order. Miss Martinez, now you have to include what the dad is going to say. Next, you're going to include what Lisa said. Okay. Now I need to go back to my writing. First graders, as you're writing, sometimes you get distracted, right? And you start thinking about other things. You need to make sure you bring your focus back and tell yourself the little order that you had to give yourself and continue writing. You need to write for as long as you can so that you could do as much writing as possible. It might be even helpful to put a timer so that you can write for the whole time. Once I keep writing, then I'm going to act it out. You could stand up and act it out, or you could read the story to someone and have them act out the parts that you have so far. Giving yourself little orders and making sure that you write the whole time and acting things out will help you know what you have to write next and will keep you moving forward. So writers, make sure that when you get stuck or bored or distracted, that you don't just stop writing. Make sure that you do something to develop a can-do attitude, and you tell yourself, I could do this, I could keep writing, so your writings become the best writings that they can be. So I want you to practice this today. As you're writing the rest of your series book, I want you to be the boss of your writing. Give yourself little orders and write for as long as you can. Next week, we're going to continue our series writing. I'm so excited to see what you come up with. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and be the boss of your writing.